Snelly in the Morning.
BBC Radio Merseyside.
Now, pen pals we've been talking about this morning. A group of students in Sefton hoping to tackle loneliness and social isolation by just using something old which could come back again and almost forgotten, a method of keeping in touch. Pen and paper. Health and social care students at Hubert College in Bootle have started a pen pal service for people living in the Liverpool City region. Simple. You join up, they write to you, you write back, and on it goes. Easy as that. Jimmy McCracken has been out to the college and asked lecturer Tina Blease just who the scheme is actually aimed at.
Anyone that feels that they would benefit from the service, so anyone who may have a diagnosis, they may live in supported accommodation, they may live in their own home, literally anybody, any age group. The aim is to make someone's day feel a little bit brighter. They might make them smile on that morning they receive the letter, they might read it, they might take a day or two to reply, they might reply a week later. The choice is theirs, they're in control. You know, you don't have to have a diagnosis to be getting involved in the scheme. You could just feel like you could benefit from it. Maybe someone friendly to talk to, maybe someone that you don't know, so you can talk about things you might not necessarily talk about before.
We'll talk more in a second about how the scheme works and how anyone, including possibly me, can get involved. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I like the sound of that. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. But rather than ask you, I'll ask a couple of the ladies who are involved about what they get out of it. So let's have a word with Suzanne and Olivia, who are two new pen pals. Is that right, Suzanne?
Yeah, that's right.
When you got asked to take part in the scheme, what did you think?
Thought it was a good idea to include everyone regardless of the age, or like it's not based on anything, it's based on just communicating with people to help them benefit from it, and it's all about to reduce like loneliness and isolation.
I suppose at your age, Olivia, around about now you mix with a lot of people, you see a lot of people and have a lot of friends, but not everybody has the same experience as that, do they?
No, not everyone has the same experiences. Some people have completely different lives to other people, and you don't know what happens behind closed doors.
Do we think it's only elderly people who might live in isolation or experience loneliness?
No, anyone can experience loneliness. It can be anyone in any room, any place. They can still feel lonely in a group of people.
When I was a young person, being a pen pal was quite a trendy thing to do. Do you see it as old-fashioned?
It's more personal, especially because nowadays with social media and technology, everything's done through emails, messages, but handwriting that letter, it's more personal to the person who's receiving it, and then it's stamped and sent, and it's got that like personal touch to it. It's more like, I don't know what the word is. Like,
I don't know what the word is either, but it's much nicer though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You feel more, I don't know.
Do you know what? Maybe there is no word to describe it. Maybe it's just a feeling.
Yeah, like you feel more loved.
Yeah.
And like more valued.
So how's it been going so far then? Who have you written to?
We don't really know because it's anonymous.
Right. So you just put Dear Jimmy or Dear whoever?
Dear whoever wants to talk.
Yeah. What have you been saying to them so far, and what have they said back to you?
Basic things like what are their interests and hobbies and things like that.
How do you think writing letters to people that you don't even know, how do you think it will help you as health and social care students?
It'll help us understand how other people who are going through isolation or feel that they are lonely, how they're feeling, because obviously we interact and communicate with other like peers and staff, but speaking to someone who is going through a bad time, and it helps us understand and learn from it, so then it could help us in future.
And then when you go out in the real world, into the working world, you've got that skill to be able to take with you, have you?
Yeah, it makes you more empathetic towards other people and improves your self-esteem as well as other people's.
Okay, well, thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. They're clearly getting something out of this. As students, there's a definite reason for doing this, isn't there, Tina?
Yeah, there is. So we're trying to add to the student experience and give them real life people to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So we're part of a career college, so we're preparing everyone ready for employment. We're preparing everyone ready to deal with real life situations. We're trying to build them communication skills right from the beginning, but in a safe environment as well. The students are practicing their English language skills, they're practicing communicating with people who've got additional needs, they're doing this outside of their lesson time, so this is a big part of their enrichment, and it's going to grow them as practitioners for the future.
Well then, they gain, the people who are sending and receiving the letters, they benefit. Sounds like a great idea. How do people get involved then?
So Hubert College have got the link on their Facebook page, which you can click onto the link, you fill your details in, it's a short form, and that comes through to us, and we start from there. You'll receive your pen pal letter shortly after that.
No age limits?
No age limits.
Anyone can do it?
Absolutely anyone.
Anyone who just wants a pen pal?
Absolutely.
Funny how it all comes round, isn't it? Don't forget Christmas list now. You'll be able to get that great big row of 100 felt tips. Maybe they'll all come back into fashion as well. You never know. Thank you, Hugh Bird, and thank you, Jimmy McCracken.